Okay, welcome back to our project Sunbeam. Yeah, I did a bit of research, as I said, I think on the last video about stripping down these rear suspension units. Now, it's like a frigging bomb, I have to say, doing this. What we've got to do, this tube runs all the way through, this stanchion as they're calling it. Really thin walled at the top, so you can't hit it in any way. Crush the tube, the thread. It's held in with these clamps, a clamp there, a clamp there. That clamp actually slides up and down on this, so it compresses the spring, and another clamp there. So essentially, we've got to knock this through. So, big long extension, knock it through, all the way out the bottom. And then here, I don't know if you can see that just there, I've got two plates with a slot. We've got to get the plate in under the plunger, and again there's the other plate, and some threaded bar and spacers, and carefully wind the threaded bar down to compress it to give you enough. Just let me see what to give you enough to get it to come out, and there it is. There's the other slot. So we can now unwind this. It was kind of a bit of a guesswork on how much thread to leave out. Kind of unwind this. It's like one of them guys that go in on the hurt locker, you know, with the big, no taking anything away from them guys, don't get me wrong, but sort of winding that up there. But anyway, look, you know, it's worked, it's out, so we can. So I'm going to proceed to do the drive side box and get that one out so we can get the drive out, and yeah, got to get the frame completely pulled down to nothing, ready for our blasting. So alright, I'll sign off on this and we'll pick it up when I'm set up on the next one. Okay, let's do this side. Right, I've just got a long extension down in here, reaching all the way to the bottom. It's thin enough but kind of man enough to get right to the bottom inside this. It's the same sort of thing as this, although it does have a exhaust mounting bracket on the bottom. There's a bit of oil inside it, so we'll get our twatter and that's a bonus if we can get that. Let's take that back out for a... It's like working with a bomb, this sort of stuff. And the sheer weight in that box as well, that's in that drive box. But I mean, at the end of the day, it could be sea solid. You know, I know what I'd sooner have. If it's come out by hand, then you know, we could have a situation of. So there we go. The stanchion, as they're calling it. So clamp bolts out. I'm going to put all this over this side. I can't stand that up though, because if it's as it rests on my socket for a minute, I can empty into the old oil stuff. Notice, as you can see from there, notice it does have a little cut out for the bolt, the clamp bolt to go through. Anyway, I can't believe the length, the unloaded length. It's a good job I guessed that threaded bar to the depth I did. The unloaded length of that. Yeah, so which is, you've got to wind it all the way off carefully when so the spring unloads itself. So what we're going to do now in here is how I did it last time, just to save. We've got a lot more weight now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to. Then now as time goes on, you tend to learn to protect yourself. That extension through there now stops that being able to just line out the side. Okay. Now, what I've got to do, these plates, I'm going to get plates and the threaded bar up the inside of this one, but first, absolutely minging the frame. The chunks of greasy oil and anyway, I suppose from 1967 it's going to be. Right, how I did it before, I'm not saying it's right and I'm not saying it's wrong. How I did it before, I just went into here. We've got to get essentially this to come away. Just enough to get our plate in. Right, see how I've just created a bit of a gap. The sheer weight of this drive box on here, I honestly reckon that would have been flying out there by now. I really do. So what we're going to do, just get that to go in there. This is our little plate that we can compress. And the issue here is it doesn't go over this, but just get it kind of in the right place. Okay. In a minute when I take this out, that'll just slot in, then we can use it for a threaded bar. So same deal again. Just lift it up and down. See what I mean about possibly a two-man job this. Possibly. You know, God, he's absolutely minging grease and filth. I think we're there. I think that's nice. Not that plate in there. Are we there? Could be in a minute. Right. Just can't. That's him. Right, I've got it started. Okay. So now I'm going to take this out. Really carefully. No load on it at the minute. I'm moving that. So this goes up through the hole at the bottom. Kind of rounded that thread off there to stop that nut unwinding off and the whole thing exploding unbeknown to us. We need to be on control of the loading and unloading of it to top out for the thread. So right, very carefully, I'm going to take that out and not move anything. So where did I put my... It's getting to the point we need a tool to get rags and... Where did my nut go? Did I bring it? Must have brought it. And that in there. And then a bit of plastic. I don't know, mind you, we probably would actually. We could try it with just that. Having said that, we only want it to go down that far. Let's get another nut. The one I want won't jump now. I've only got another one. The one I want will jump out at me. But if I'd have spent the time looking for it, the problem is it tends to chew the threads up a little bit. It's so much load on this thread. Use this spanner. Right. Look at this. Through here. I'm not going to tug or muck around on anything yet on here. I'm just going to put the nut on there. I want this plate in now. We do the top one, let's get the top one. Right, the top one's in, so it will now rest on the plate we've just knocked in. Very quickly, let's get the bottom one in as well. So the bottom one's in now. So what we've got now is a situation where we can compress both springs now. I know it's a bit, if I can hold that, can I hold that there? All I want to do is wind an old frigging lock. Right, just stay there for a minute. Yeah, right to the end of the thread, couldn't believe it. Unwinding the other one. I'm doing it cack-handed as well, so get set up properly, man. Right. Yeah, as long as it remains in these two jaws, it's safe. As soon as it looks like it wants to go slightly on an angle, now that pin, the great big pin, the stanchion, is out, then we've now got a situation where it just wants to explode. So let's get this compressed. Tap that off, and then it'll, as long as it's not unwinding that one down there, I'm not bothered. Shouldn't have pinned the end of the thread over. I saw that developing in the vice unwinding the other one. I thought, here we are winding this carefully up here, and if the nut just comes off the bottom there, it's game over anyway. So right, here we are now, just starting to put a bit of load on this spring. So we're compressing the rebound spring, if you like, and compressing the rebound spring and the compression spring. So as soon as I do that, wind this down, if there's enough on this little spacer I've got, we start to get a situation of, I'm not going to get much more on the spanner there, but just holding everything. Is it enough? Oh, nearly. Nearly. You think what this threaded bar's under at the minute, eh? Oh yes. And as if by magic. Right, so what I'm going to do, go over the bench over here, get my face away from it, and I'm going to load it. So, down the face of it didn't seem too bad a job, did it? But it's just getting set up, ready to do this sort of thing. But anyway, up to now, I ain't got any black eyes and busted nose and fingers ripped off and a spring through ceiling in garage. So we're doing all right then on that score. So it's absolutely minging now, honestly. But you know, how many years? Anyway, right. Let's have a look, and we'll pick it up when we do the next bit.